and you like to know where your quarterback's going to be. And you think that he's going to be inside you, like on the hash mark where he starts, and then he's on the other hash mark.
It's one of the reasons
right here.
Yeah, one of the reasons he gets sacked so much. Coverage is there. The rush was on, and Vic just has to throw it away. And they'll punt. Take a look at the NFC playoff picture here. At this point, as we conclude the 14th week of the season, Seattle in the driver's seat. They've clinched their division and are close to clinching home field advantage. Then you've got Chicago, the Giants, and Tampa Bay all leading their respective divisions with identical 9-4 marks. At the moment, Carolina and Dallas would be the wild cards, but Minnesota, Atlanta, and Washington all still involved in that as we head down the stretch.
The stretch is the best time of the year. It's the best time of the year in the NFL because then, you know, single games start to be, okay, this is it. You know, you win, you're in the playoffs. You lose, you're out. I love that.
As Dave Johnson says, and down the stretch they come. 30-17.
طرب أصيل وأصوات عذبة تقيم جسرا للتواصل إحياء لذكرى عمالقة الموسيقى العربية. ليالي الصعبجية كل أحد 7 مساء بتوقيت غرينتش على قناة فن.
Would you reach out your hand to save a drowning man?
Shut up. I can't. As long as I keep talking, I know I'm still alive. I'm only human.
Ain't easy being human.
If you thought he might pull you in, expect the worst, and you'll get it.
It's a new day.
Masked and Anonymous, Friday at these times, new and exclusive on Super Movies.
لم يكن على ريموندو أن يأتي ولكنه على حق. أنا لم أحب إدواردو ولن أحبه أبدا.
لماذا تفعلين بي هذا إيفانا؟ لماذا حبيبتي؟ لماذا؟
عاشقة من السبت إلى الخميس في الأوقات التالية على قناة اليوم.
Fourth quarter of Monday Night Football here on ESPN. Just 13:35 to play in the final quarter. And the Falcons at the moment somewhat in control of tonight's opponent, the Saints, by a 30-17 score. Must win really for the Falcons. They've got some tough games to finish it out in their final 3, but right now taking over at their own 20-yard line, down 13, are the Saints. Let's get back to Al Michaels.
And then Drew Esikoff scouring the crowd. Demario Williams makes the tackle here. Tough to find dinner in a hotel anywhere these days for $200.
Do you know your colors? Like if you mix Al Michaels, best commentator.
It's them spelled right. Very, very nice.
A before E.
That's right. Tough to misspell Al. 2nd and 10 at the 20. The question about colors.
Yeah. If you were to mix the color yellow with the color red, what color do you get?
Yellow and red is like, yeah, orange, right?
No, green.
Yellow and red make green?
Yeah. I did it during halftime.
Yeah.
When you were doing that thing, and I got that color right there.
No.
I spilled mustard on my red tie.
Yeah.
And it turned green. Yellow and red does equal green. I found it. I tried it. I did it. It was right here. A big green spot right here.
It may depend on the brand of mustard. At the 25-yard line.
Can you see the green in here?
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's a red tie spilled a glob of mustard right here.
Like yellow mustard or brown
Yeah,
mustard?
no, yellow.
Okay.
And then they tried to take it off and all that stuff, but you can just see it turns green. See green?
It's like a lime green. You're right.
Yeah, it's a lime green. But I didn't know. I mean, I probably, we probably learned that, mixing colors somewhere, but that's
in the 4th grade, and now we're completely in our dotage and we forget what makes what.
Well, you don't want to do it at halftime. You'd rather do it after the game.
You'd only know that if you'd spill stuff on yourself, right? 30-17.
Orbit ESPN.
Oh, we're back. The Couch Reporter. Here's what Michelle says from Minneapolis tonight. She wants to know where the Vikings for real regarding the Bears. Stick with Orton, or do you bring Rex Grossman back? Good question. And we'll get the next one in just a moment as it's 1st and 10 for the Falcons from the 43-yard line. They start with T.J. Duckett and Michelle, who will rejoin us after the birth of her son. She'll be back in a couple of weeks in New York. Texas or USC? All right, let's go with the second question, John. Orton, Orton has done so, the team's done so well. Their offense has not done well. Grossman's ready to play again in Chicago. What do you do?
Well, I mean, Grossman hasn't been in his life with Peyton Manning. I mean, I think you stay with Orton. I don't think you change anything until you have to. And it's not like Grossman was a great quarterback and you're getting him back. I mean, they got to this position with Kyle Orton, and I think that's the way they ought to stay.
2nd and 7 from the 45. Here's a flag. Vikings for real. Well, the game. I tell you what. This week's game. They play Pittsburgh this week.
I'm a big believer if you win, you're for real. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, you have to go out there and you have to win, and the Vikings have done that. I mean, they got turned around when Brad Johnson started playing.
Right guard, offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
No, and Brad Johnson came in there, and Dante Culpepper is a great quarterback. And when Brad Johnson came in there, it was just a change of pace. And this isn't a good-looking thing with D'Angelo Hall going in there. But
walking back under his own power anyway.
No, but I think that he changed them, and then they kind of calmed the whole thing down, and they started playing well in all areas. And I do think they're for real.
2nd down and 12. Vick will gun it over the middle, and that's caught by Algie Crumpler, and that'll be a 1st down. And there's a flag down in the offensive backfield, and that, of course, with Michael Vick getting up very slowly, means he took a late shot.
Yeah, the closest guy to him was the defensive lineman. This was a defensive lineman and a linebacker. Will Smith was here.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 59.
He was a linebacker. It was Ron McKinnon.
15 yards and a 1st down.
You see the ball's gotten there, and Ron McKinnon was just coming straight up the middle on that one. The ball, he just took a free shot at him. That has to hurt. I mean, that's why you have to protect the quarterback, because they're kind of like a punter, and once that leg is up in the air, they're unprotected. Once they step up and they're looking upfield and throwing the ball, they're completely unprotected.
So Vick takes a shot, but doesn't.
Yeah, and that gets me back to the other thing. Al, I don't think they have to be so picky on that rule of throwing the ball away. If you're outside the tackle, let them throw it away. I mean, what do you want them to do? Get smashed?
Yeah. That's why they put it in the first place. But then they added the little add-ons were throwing it back toward the line of scrimmage, at least making it look like they're trying to throw it to somebody.
Yeah, but we're always trying to protect the players, cut down on injuries, keep the quarterbacks in the game, and all those things. Man, I think they ought to lighten up on that one a little.
Here's Duckett. And Michelle's final question dealt with USC or Texas.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I've seen a much better college team than SC. I mean, that Reggie Bush, I don't know. I don't remember the last time I've seen a running back in college better than him. Now, And maybe it's because I get so much exposure on television, but, you know, I mean, when Barry Sanders was at Oklahoma State, I don't even remember him at Oklahoma State. But Reggie Bush, I know him. I mean, I know him from watching him on television. They look awfully good to me.
So much national exposure. Heisman Trophy winning quarterback from last year in that lineup. Of course, you get Young at Texas. And then Vic almost lost the ball, but is able to retain it. But regardless, that is going to be some Rose Bowl game.
Well, do you pick Texas then?
No, I pick USC. Yeah, I live in LA, so I see them a lot. And you go with who you're more familiar with, I guess, more than anything else.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that game. That's going to be tremendous. Well, we should put in a call to the old horse Keith Trickson and find out who Keith likes in the Rose Bowl. Keith and Dan Fouts will be doing the game on ABC on the 4th of January.
Well, those two have to know a heck of a lot about USC too, don't they? I mean, over the years.
Yeah, we're trying to trade a couple of games with them so we can do it. Have a great one, guys. Time out. Vic needs a little rest here.
It's the most exclusive spot for music stars. A place where the stars can let loose.
And there's a lot of people out here.
And field viewers' questions by phone, fax, email, and in person. Spontaneous and uncensored talk from the hottest celebrities, plus close-up live performances and comments. It's television without a safety net. It's intimate and interactive, only on the Hollywood Channel.
This December, Super Movies takes you to new worlds.
I'm gonna take this airplane and we are gonna fly right into the sun, man.
George Clooney goes into orbit in Solaris.
She is not human.
Jodie Foster's world gets a lot smaller in Panic Room.
They're locking us in.
Saving the planet from the villains of the universe.
We used to work together.
Again.
I never worked in a funeral home.
Men in Black 2. The end of the world arrives just 28 days later. And the evolution continues in X-Men 2.
Drop the knives and put your hands in the air.
I can.
For all these movies and more, every day from 9 p.m. Riyadh time throughout December. Super Movies, your ticket to the latest movies.
And it deals with his back, and we'll show you the replay in a second, but he had to call a timeout. He couldn't even take the snap. So he goes to the bench. They work on him there. And you got Matt Schaub in the game. But let's go back to him getting up and then what happens. Reaching for the lower back. Tries to get up to the line of scrimmage and then has to take a timeout. So Schaub, who played pretty impressively in a loss to New England when Vic was hurt earlier in the year, hands the ball off to Warwick Dunn on a 3rd down play, 3rd and 5. And in will come the field goal group. Of course, this was started by the hit by McKinnon.
Yeah, that was a late hit right there, and that's when, you know, he was stepping up, and he just looked like he kind of relaxed after he threw the ball, not expecting to take a hit. And Ron McKinnon got him right in the chest. And, you know, of course, a lot of times, you know, a shot in the chest can go all over. And that one, I think, went to Michael Vick's back.
Peterson now with a 43-yard field goal attempt to try to make it a 16-point game, and he does. But it is still a 2-possession game. So the Saints not done, but Vic may be done for the night. We'll check on it. Give you the report when we come back. 33-17 Falcons.
Yo, what's up? I'm Stuart Scott, and And I got to tell you, I'm glad to be part of a great lineup. Here at SportsCenter, we cover every sport and we play every position. Orbit viewers in North Africa and the Middle East have the unique opportunity to catch up on all the latest highlights, results, and news from around the world of sports exclusively on SportsCenter on Orbit ESPN. We make sports our business, the winning choice.
Saturdays to Wednesdays.
Hey, Coach. Ready for another great year?
Be prepared for love.
I love him, I love him, I love him.
Hate.
My boyfriend's dumping me. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it.
I love you so much.
And trouble.
We go over the rules of dating my daughter.
What's wrong with Christy?
Oh, don't play dumb with me, Mr. Kissy Lip Sucky Face.
I've got my game face on.
Hang time. Saturdays to Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. Riyadh time on Super Comedy. Born in the flames of hell.
60 years ago, they tried to destroy the world. Back.
And brought to Earth to perpetrate evil.
In the absence of light, darkness prevails.
But he was raised to be a hero. He is...
You're Hellboy.
I'm on a mission.
No!
Second date, no time. Remember who you are.
We don't take kids.
Hellboy, now showing on TV Max.
Mike Vick back in the locker room. We'll get updated in a second on that. Right now it's a 16-point game. Kane in to kick off for the Atlanta Falcons. Aaron Stecker will take it from the 5-yard line. Bring it back to the 22-yard line. Take a break here with 8:26 left in regulation. Give the report what we know about Michael Vick when we come back to Atlanta. 33-17 Falcons.
شباب أزلي إنه نابع من منى اليوم.
Let's get a report on Michael Vick. We go down to Sam Ryan. Sam?
Yeah, we saw him leave on his own 2 feet. He did go to the locker room. He's getting x-rays on his back. The training staff telling me that he got hit on his back during that last series. And when he first came out, you saw him go down on all fours. The training staff looking at his back, they put their hands up the right side of his back. He did lift up his right arm in obvious pain, but the good news, he was able to walk up on his own. We'll keep you updated, Alan.
So Vic, thank you, Sam. As the pass goes to Zach Hilton, it's a short week 2 for Atlanta because they play the Monday night game obviously tonight, and then Sunday they're in Chicago, so one less day of rest for Mike Vick.
And there's the hit that got him. Ron McKinnon, the middle linebacker, coming straight up the middle. Then he stayed in for one more play, which he ran up the middle and took another hit. So it was kind of, he was tackled 2 plays in a row.
And it appeared to spasm up, took the timeout, and that pass for Stallworth is incomplete. Boy, I'm thinking about like Tony Dungy. He's watching that. I mean, you think about, okay, and everybody wants to see Indianapolis go undefeated, 13-0. You know, what do you do? Do you rest your guys, or do you have something like that happen to one of your key guys?
No, I don't think you can play scared. I don't think there's any way that now, if someone is injured and you have to make it, you know, should I bring them back this week or wait one more week? I think you wait one more week. But if they're completely healthy, I don't think you run scared.
3rd and 3 now. Brooks under pressure, and he's going to get sacked at the 26. So the defense digging in when they have to, and that's Patrick Kearney, who had 13 sacks last year and earned a spot in the Pro Bowl, who gets one here.
Well, you know, they're pretty good with Patrick Kearney, you know, coming off one side. And then you have Rod Coleman coming up the middle. And then when they had Brady Smith on the right side, that was a pretty good rush. They don't have Brady Smith now, so they don't have that right side strong rusher anymore.
Well, D'Angelo Hall went back to the locker room is fine as he's back to receive this kick and lets it bounce. Covered up at the 30-yard line on the subject of Brady Smith. Let's go to Sam again.
Well, you're talking about Brady Smith. He's out with the dislocated toe, a big toe on his right foot. That happened during the Jets game, October 24th. He told me he thought it was getting better. It was incredibly slow to heal. So what he did last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, he did some light jogging, but he said the toe didn't react well to it, so he had to go back in the boot. As for Jim Mora, he said, I'm not quick to put this guy on IR. We do need him. He's a key to our defense. He brings so much experience. We're not ready to throw in the towel just yet.
Report on Smith is the Atlanta Falcons, of course, and every team, the attrition factor. It's December coming down the stretch. Warwick done, and 3 flags come in.
I think they all saw a face mask, didn't they? Usually when a guy's running like that, run, and he goes, put, and his head jerks to the side, it's usually a face mask.
Caught from every angle.
Yeah, even that deep guy got him. I think it was Will Smith that got him for the Saints.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Offense number 80. Personal foul. Grasping the face mask. Defense number 91. By rule, those penalties offset. Replay. First down.
Eric Beverly on the offense and Will Smith on the defense.
There's Will Smith right there grabbing the face mask with his left hand.
And that's the big time face mask.
That can hurt, yeah.
Who would have a bag on? I'm trying to figure out why you'd have a bag on your head tonight.
I don't know. Is that a leftover from the Saints?
Yeah, it probably is. But don't they get a pass this year?
I would think so.
On 1st and 10. And it's floated perfectly into the arms of Crumpler. And Crumpler finally gets taken down at the 23-yard line.
You know, here's a guy that I think can play. Is this Matt Schaub, this quarterback. I mean, he can stand in the pocket. He does have a touch, and he has a pretty good feel for the game. And watch this. They start in the I formation here. He goes a little play action pass, and he's looking right now for Algie Crumpler. He knows exactly when he comes out of that play action pass, he knows exactly where he's going. That's not a bad idea.
48 yards right there, and they threw it to Algie for 48.
Right, and it took him a little while to get started throwing to Algie.
Algie didn't catch one in the first half. Done. And you're talking about Schaub, John. He went to school at Virginia, 3rd-round pick in 2004. Got to play this year against New England when Vic was hurt. He threw 3 touchdown passes in that game, losing cause, but threw 3 TD passes. And that is something that Michael Vick has never done. He's never thrown 3 in a game.
No, but Michael Vick is still a better quarterback than Matt Schaub. I mean, you're not going to say because of that Matt Schaub ought to play and not Michael Vick. But having said that, I think this guy's a real deal. I mean, he may not ever play here in Atlanta, but I mean, he could be one of those quarterbacks that could very well go play someplace else and have a good career.
He's a good backup. He's 6'5" and 237. And he looks like Michael Vick here. Look at this, inside the 10, and down he goes at the 9-yard line. Well,
no, he didn't.
Not quite like Michael Vick.
He looked like Vic Michael. But you know,
he looked like Vic Damone.
Hey, remember the other quarterback though that started here and didn't play and then was traded and went on to have a pretty good career?
Yeah, some guy went to Green Bay.
Yeah, this is where Brett Favre started.
It's funny because we're talking about all the guys that have tried to, be in position to succeed. Favre, Brooks was there, Brunell and Hasselback and all the guys for the years, and then Favre was the guy who was here. First and goal. To the 5-yard line goes Warwick Dunn as the Falcons try to write a finish to this one.
I'm surprised T.J. Duckett's not playing more.
They'll get in there when they're on the 1-yard line. Take a look at this. Tampa Bay will be at New England, then Atlanta and New Orleans. Right now they are on top. They would own the tiebreaker. Carolina goes to New Orleans next week. They go to San Antonio to play New Orleans, then Dallas and Charlotte, and then they close here. And the Falcons really have it tough at Chicago, at Tampa Bay, Carolina here, and you can see that those teams have either won 8 or 9 games at this point.
Yeah, but having it tough is good. I mean, if you're going to be a playoff team, then go earn it. If you can't beat a good team, then you don't belong in the playoffs anyway. And I always get that, oh, they have a tough schedule at the end of the season to get the playoff. Well, if it's tough, then they aren't a playoff team. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot. Absolutely.
No, I mean, if you're a good team and you're really a legitimate playoff team, then you ought to beat these other guys. Here goes T.J. Duckett now.
Mixed red and yellow. What is it again? What do you get out of this?
You get green. I'll guarantee you get green. Does that make any sense to you?
I'll believe anything right now.
Well, you know, they haven't brought in T.J. Duckett, as much other than his short yardage and goal line. They haven't spelled Warwick Dunn much tonight.
Fake to Duckett. Schaub's going to roll. Schaub's going to throw. And Trumper had an easy touchdown and dropped it.
Merry Christmas.
It's a Merry Christmas to the Saints defense.
That was a gift, yeah. And it was one of those things that it looked like he thought it was too easy. That I'm going to be too cool for school.
Right there. You know what? McKinnon may just have gotten a little piece of that.
Yeah, and if not, it was just enough distraction. He had more distraction there than I thought he had.
Peterson. And he bangs it through for 3 more with 3:01 to play. And that makes the score 36-17 after a 20-yard field goal. Monday Night Football from Atlanta being brought to you by Wendy's.
Hope you're enjoying tonight's Monday Night Football action. The Atlanta Falcons just a few minutes away from claiming victory number 8 on the season. A win that they certainly will need and keep their playoff hopes alive. For our Latin American audience, a reminder, SportsCenter is coming up next. But for now, we're going to go back to the Georgia Dome. The owner of the Falcons, Arthur Blank, down on the sideline, reveling in the glory of a victory, or an apparent victory, over the Saints. Still 3:01 to play. It's 36-17 at the moment.
Work their way into the playoffs.
You said something to Greg Knapp that was funny. I'm surprised that with Michael Vick in the clubhouse right now, unless he's okay, I'm surprised that there's some smiles on their faces.
Yeah, maybe they know something we don't.
I mean, a win is good, but you can't lose Michael Vick.
36-17, and Atlanta on top with 3 minutes to play. Stecker running it back from the 4 up to the 24-yard line.
The Saints offense was really pretty good in the first half, and then towards the end of the second quarter they seemed to get things going, but then halftime came and they came out in the second half and they haven't done anything.
And they hung in there. They were down 7-0 early, took the lead when it looked like at 21-10. Atlanta with a quick 2-play touchdown drive that may have begun to put the nail in the New Orleans coffin. They scored again before the end of the half, but in check they've been held here in the second half.
Right, in the second half they've had 7 drives and 6 punts and a safety.
1st and 10 from the 25. It's caught by Anthony Thomas, and Sam has the Michael Vick update.
Yeah, the news not as bad as it could be. It's bruised ribs. He is obviously out for the game. His status for next week up in the air right now. They don't know anything as far as if he will play on the short week, but it is bruised ribs, Alan John.
Okay, bruised ribs, and again, they will play Sunday night in Chicago, 2nd and 4, and it's a little bit behind the receiver, Zach Hilton.
Talking to Aaron Brooks last night, he